Yeah, I think first off, want to thank the fan base, the entire student section. I thought the atmosphere was absolutely amazing. I was remiss I'm remiss to not mention for all these years. I thought I knew the words to Mr. Brightside, but obviously I learned something new Saturday night, so it was a pretty cool deal. But seriously, I thought the atmosphere. I mean, that was a big time atmosphere, and can't thank the fans for coming out and supporting the team. Didn't finish the way we wanted to. I thought we were extremely physical all night long. Thought we played really, really hard on defense. Didn't execute as well as we had in the last couple games, but I think our effort and our physicality really was giving Georgia fits, and at the end of the day, ran out of gas. It's so close yet so far away, and we got to continue to get better and better every day. And I thought today's practice was excellent. It was chippy, it was fiery, it was exactly how I wanted to see us respond. So I think they're looking forward to the challenge on Saturday in the Swamp.
Coach, this was kind of the fast start that you've been looking for. What do you think was the key to getting that done?
Yeah, I thought our guys, it's something, again, like I talked about, changed a little bit of how we practiced last week. I think that was part of it. Honestly, probably the atmosphere had something to do with it, too. Again, can't thank the fan base enough. I thought the energy in that stadium Saturday night was electric, and it's hard not to start fast when you can feed off of that. So I think that probably had something to do with it as well, to be honest with you.
Was there a different level of intensity than there had been in previous games, or did it just kind of look that way because you guys were maybe playing so well?
Yeah, I think it kind of probably just looked that way when you look back. I do think. I mean, that was a physical ball game. On both sides of the ball, their offense and our defense, and it's something that we pride ourselves on. We talk about being the most physical defense in the country. And I do think it, again, probably because of the energy in the stadium, it might have felt that way to the outside looking in. But when you look back on the tape, I think we've played really, really hard and really fast and really physical all year long.
Coach, did the defensive lineman kind of tell you about the pregame mix up with the other players? Did you notice them a little bit more fired up or something?
Uh, you know, I was on the other side of the field when it happened. I doubt that really played a role. I didn't really hear anything after that. You know, we want to represent this university the right way, and at the same time, we're not gonna back down from anybody. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
I know you guys were pretty high on Tyrone all summer long, but has he exceeded what you expected, or just what you thought you were getting?
It's kind of. I mean, based off of the spring and fall camp, it's kind of what we thought. You know what I mean? I think he's gotten better and better every week. I think he's getting more comfortable. I think as a play caller, I'm figuring out what he's more comfortable doing as well. So we're able to kind of play off of each other, and I think our relationship is getting much closer. Where he can tell me what he likes and feel comfortable doing that, and vice versa, and try to put him in advantageous situations throughout the game to show his skill set.
Coach, what makes Anthony Richardson and specifically Florida's QB run game so tough to defend?
He's big and he's fast. He. I mean, playing against him last year, he's a big dude. I mean, he's the closest thing probably to Cam Newton. Since Cam Newton in college football, as far as his size and his speed. I think. Excuse me. I think they do a good job schematically. You know, getting him in good situations, running the football. I think their scheme fits what he does very nicely.
What are some of the keys to stopping a running quarterback, and what, if anything, can you take from the Auburn game where you kind of had to do that into this week?
Yeah, I think they're probably schematically they're a little bit different, but yeah, I think anytime it feels like every single week we're playing a quarterback that can extend plays with his legs, and obviously his size presents a different challenge. But I feel comfortable with our game plan so far going into it about understanding where he's at and what he likes to do.
Like it seems like his 5 games have been really different. Some games he's running a lot, some kind of staying in the pocket. Is it kind of hard to get a read on what they planned for him? Or?
No, I think Coach Napier does a good job understanding game planning. I think that's more of a product of the game plan than him specifically. So I think they ask him to do different things throughout different games based on the opponent or based off of the score.
Coach, going back to Tyrone Hopper, when you get promoted, you become the DC coach, and you see a player like that, does a player like him who can cover and play the run, does that kind of make you open up your playbook more because you can do more things, or does that simplify other things for other players since all right, Tyrone can do this and that for me?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing as a defensive coordinator and a play caller is trying to find matchups or highlight his skill set. So a guy that can do as much as he can do, the challenge is trying to find enough ways to highlight that skill set because he can do it all, in my opinion. But it makes it fun. It makes it fun, and that's to me that's a big part of my job is making sure we put our best players in the best situation to succeed, and I think we've done a good job of that so far.
Where's his head at?
Seen him improve the most throughout the season, and what are some of the reasons behind that? How has he managed to achieve that improvement?
I think getting more comfortable with the scheme. I think again in the spring we were very very simple, trying to teach fundamentals and technique, and as we've gotten as we've continued to grow our scheme every week, I think he's gotten more comfortable, and I think that comes with our communication too. And then where's his head at? Do you mean that as far as the Florida game? Yeah, I spoke to him a little bit about it. He said, "Coach, it's a nameless, faceless opponent. That's what you tell us every week." So I'm sure in the back of his mind, just like it's human nature. I'm sure he wants to have a good game, especially against. I'm sure he's close to a lot of the guys still on the team. It would be my assumption, but yeah, I think we've addressed that, and I think he's very level-headed going into the game.
Coach, the defense obviously tested Georgia like no other really have this season. What was working schematically with how you disrupted Stetson Bennett's usual rhythm?
Uh, I mean, I, some of it was scheme, and some of it's just I think we have really good players. In my opinion, and I don't mean this in an arrogant way, I don't think Georgia had played a defense like us, leading up into that game, and that's something that we preach to our guys all week. The film doesn't lie, and I thought we were the most physical defense they were going to see at that point, and I think our defensive line and really, whoever was out on the field. We were physically dominant throughout most of the game.
Kind of goes along with we talked to Kirby at the beginning. He kind of mentioned very complimentary of the defense, especially how it played. I mean, what does it mean to you that 5 weeks in you're getting this respect or earning this respect?
It means we need to just continue to get better. To be honest with you, it'll probably feel a lot better when we walk away with a win. But to me, that's a tip of the hat to this defensive staff and the players. They're doing everything that I'm asking them to do. We are multiple. We do a lot. I mean, I could go down the list of the defensive staff. Man, we're plugging holes with, Damian Wilson, who's a freshman. Norwood comes in for the third, fourth quarter. I mean, I think the staff's doing an amazing job, and I think our players are doing an amazing job. I think they've really bought in. I think that they see that if they trust the scheme's going to allow them to make plays. I think towards the end of the game, we probably got a little bit outside ourselves, just being in that situation and trying to do too much. Just, that's what I meant by lack of execution. We kind of everybody started pressing at the end to make a play, and that's something that we showed them on Sunday. When we really, didn't do our job is when, and you got to tip your hat to Georgia. They got really good players. Like I said, Stetson Bennett is a phenomenal quarterback, and those tight ends, they were who we thought we were, as Dennis Green said. So you got to tip your hat to those guys too.
You mentioned trading Norwood right there. If you don't first him straight this weekend, can you really see stand up or step up in the quarterback room?
I think Norwood and I think Marcus Clark, he's really come a long way in a short period of time. He had a really good practice this afternoon, but I think those two will get the lion's share if KD can't go.
We talked a little bit about before the season about Jaylon Carlies and the places he can play. He's played almost a little bit everywhere. But how important is that, especially as you kind of have these injuries to kind of fill that with depth with guys like Damian in multiple spots?
Yeah, I think Dalen, it's something that we're toying with now with his position flexibility. So he's a weapon to have in that regard, and that could be something that we look forward to as well.
jersey on today, but just how did he look today?
He looked good. I think he's progressing. I would say he's probably hopeful, for this Saturday. But no, I think he's progressing. Hopefully, we can get him back. That's the plan. If not, obviously, we have a bye week where we could utilize that. But the plan is to have him back on Saturday.
Jack can't go. How confident are you in guys like Damian Wilson who got thrown into a situation against Georgia that played pretty well?
Yeah, I think when you look at the Auburn game, you look at the Georgia game, the body of work he's put in, I thought Devin Nicholson, I think, gave us 24, 25 snaps. He did a good job. Again, Coach Smith's doing a phenomenal job with those guys and catching them up to speed in a hurry. And it's a credit to those guys, too. I mean, they're working their tail off behind the scenes, making sure that they know what to do when their number's called. So I feel, the experience that Day or Damian's had the last 2 days or 2 games, and then Devin Nicholson and Will Norris is doing some good things. That was a big question mark once we lost Chuck Hicks going into the season. But to see those guys step up and fill that void, my confidence in them is growing significantly based off of what I've seen the last 2 games.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
We've got Tyrone Hopper at the podium if you've got questions for Tyrone.
Tyrone, I know this was a big storyline over the summer, but what's it been like, you and Tyrone being able to be on the same team and be out there together?
It's been a blessing because really I'm not supposed to be here. It's my 7th year. I'm supposed to have been done, so to get another year and to be able to play with my cousin, it's been a blessing. Just to see him go out there and do his thing, and we making plays together, it's been big.
Seeing yesterday that you had posted something, the SEC Network guys, TUES Spikes and those guys had said about Tyrone.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned y'all making plays together. How cool is that to see, though, that he's not just making plays, he's one of the better linebackers in this league?
Yeah, I mean he's worked hard to get where he's at, so I'm gonna say I'm not surprised because me and him put in like a bunch of work this summer long, with the rest of the team and just doing the extra, and then showing up on the field on the game Saturday. So.
When you say doing the extra, what do you mean?
Like as soon as I get done with this, I'm gonna go shower, come up here, eat, watch film, go over tomorrow's install, like stuff like that. Just getting stuff done early, being proactive.
What was, especially up front, what was the difference Saturday night?
Coach Baker really harps on being physical, and we do that throughout practice. We do it throughout the week, and that carried over to the game. And then also something you can't coach is energy and effort. You're gonna see that all over the field. I feel like when you see our 11 out there, you're gonna see 11 dogs out there on the field going hard. So that's what carried over, and it's gonna carry over this Saturday.
Tyrone, did you play with your cousin at Roswell?
Not at all. I graduated in 2016. I'm older. Yeah, he graduated in 2019, so I was already in college.
But just from what you know from that then, is he still kind of the same player? I know he had a couple of position changes, but what do you see that's similar with him from that end to now?
I feel like he's kind of the same player, just he's progressed. In high school, you could say, everybody's like a little raw, but like once we get to college, he's got strength coaches that are amazing. Coaches like Coach DJ, Coach Bake, just the whole coaching staff, grooming him to be a better player. So I would just say he just progressed over time.
Where do you think his head's at going back to Florida where he played before?
I don't think he's thinking about it too much. I just think he's thinking about the next game. He's just trying to be 1-0.
You guys were able to start quickly with this couple of turnovers against Georgia, and Coach Baker was just talking about execution, especially at the end. And how would you kind of evaluate the defense as a whole from beginning and starting quickly to the things you got to work on going into Florida? And what are some of those specific things?
Yeah, I think we came out on fire and it stayed throughout the game. I just think we gotta stay consistent. I think we kind of towards the fourth quarter got a little shaky with our fundamentals and execution of play. So we just got to be consistent throughout the whole game, and then
What are some things that kind of happen throughout a game that help you stay locked in, stay focused? Obviously, last Saturday it's easy with the game being that close against Georgia, but how do you make sure going into an environment like Florida that you're making sure you keep that focus and now you're able to start strong, you're able to finish in the same way?
you know, just preparation. Coach Drink always says practice execution makes game day reality. So just that right there.
Tyrone, what's a defensive end responsibility against a quarterback who can move like Richardson can elucidate or with his legs? What are you looking forward to about that challenge?
I mean, he runs the ball just like everybody else, so we just got to stop the run like how we usually do. And that's about it, yeah.
Anything else for Big Hop? Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We've got Jaylon Carlies at the podium if you've got questions for Jaylon.
13 tackles, tackles for loss. Is there anything specifically different about that game that just got you going and had you everywhere on the field?
There was a lot of injury throughout the stadium from the start of the game to the end of the game. It's feeding off our teammates as well. Just everybody was coming with a different type of energy that night, and we hopefully we bring that energy from now on throughout the whole season, every game.
Is that especially considering one of your years here, like 8,000 people could be there? I mean, have you ever seen that stadium? Anything approaching that?
No, that was probably the loudest I've heard it since I've been here. That was one of the loudest for sure. But just hearing all of that, you know, I feel like that we the team just fed into it. You know, just coming out of the tunnel, just looking out there, and you could just tell there was a different type of energy out there that night. We just knew we were going to play special, and we really ended up doing it.
Do you credit the atmosphere for your guys' fast start on defense?
That's a part of it. Just seeing the crowd behind us. We've gotten off to some fast starts over the past couple of weeks now, though, as units. So I just feel like just being at home with the crowd also just boosted our morale a little bit more.
How can you carry over that fast start on the road if the crowd's not behind you?
Just sticking to our fundamentals and what we have in our game plan. We know who we are. We know what we can do. So now we just got to go execute every week with it.
Coach talked about last week, you know, you guys doing a really good job of moving past the previous game. And having done it last week, I mean, is it kind of easier now to do it again, to get back up after falling a little bit short on Saturday?
It's kind of that's kind of a way to look at it. It's just more of just knowing that's what comes with football. You know, there's going to be real close games that you're not going to win. There's going to be real close games that you will win. It's just always the preparation that you look forward to in that next week. Just the coaches do a great job of it as well. You know, just keeping their head focused on who our opponent is for that following week. You know, not trying to dwell on what happened in the past week. So, you know, everybody's mind is on this week. So everybody just kind of moved on from this one as well, and we're just ready for Florida now.
Obviously, this would be a big game, not for just you guys, of course, but Tyrone Hopper. I mean, having him play in front of you, what is that like, and how does he make your job easier? Just on the back line.
Hop's an animal. He was a great addition to this team. He does his part very well, just like everybody else. But he's just a great person to see. You know, me being a safety, I'm able to see a lot of things that goes on out there in front of me, and I see him on a lot of plays, and it's just a blessing seeing him out there.
What's he like in the locker room?
Real humble guy. Kind of quiet, but you know, he talks to everybody on the team, tries to make friends with everybody. You know, just a real humble guy overall, though.
Jaylon, you're from the central area, the Florida area, of course, and I'm kind of curious with Hurricane Ian, what, if that's been on your mind, or you know, people back at home, I should say, that you heard from or been talking with, or what has this last week and a half been like for you, just knowing that you're from that area?
It was I was kind of nervous going into the week, just knowing what could have happened, but blessings from God helped all of my family, everybody that I know. They stayed safe during the whole thing. A couple other Florida people on the team. Everybody seemed to be doing well, all their families. So we're all just blessed that everybody wasn't hurt from this thing.
Did you have any friends from high school or anyone that you knew that were impacted?
Not really impacted. You know, it's just a lot of flooding going on around the city. But nothing really torn down. Maybe power outage and stuff like that. But no major causes of damage at all.
Yeah, and then going into this weekend at Florida playing games, how many friends and family do you think you'll have there in Florida?
I know I'm gonna have a big amount. My mom's side is from the Ocala area, so that's pretty That's pretty close to Gainesville, 20, 30 minutes out. So I'll have a big showing. I'm pretty sure a lot of other Florida people on the team will as well. So we're just going to try to pack the stands up.
JC, what's the challenge with Anthony Richardson? How different is it preparing for Stetson Bennett last week?
It's just like it's just another great quarterback that we have to face. We have to prepare for in different ways. We're going to face different types of great quarterbacks throughout this season. We just have to prepare for them the way that they like to do. You know, there's different types of style quarterbacks. We have a lot of mobile quarterbacks. We have a lot of pocket quarterbacks. But you know, you see he does both. We're just going to try to maintain, keep him in the pocket and different things like that. But just try to stop everything, keep everything in front of us.
Jaylon, it looked like against Auburn a couple times you had some success at that QB spot position. What makes you good at that spot, and what are some of the keys to success there?
Just using my eyes and also trusting my speed. Just knowing I'm most likely one of the fastest guys out there. So just knowing that nobody most likely will be able to outrun me or get to the edge before me. Just using that just kind of keeps everybody in front of me.
I know before the season, Coach Strickland was kind of challenging the defense that turnovers are something that he wanted to see, but now I think throughout the season, he get like 4 interceptions, maybe 4 fumbles too. I mean, he kind of gotten those turnovers. How would you evaluate the turnover performance that you guys have so far this season?
Doing it in practice. That's a big part of it. You know, we go against our scouts all the time. They do a great job showing us what we need to see. But we also have to do a great job, you know, going for the ball, going for the takeaways, catching interceptions, doing things like that throughout practice so they will show up in the games like how they've been doing.
Anything else for JC? Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate you.
We'll have Darius Robinson at the podium if you've got questions for me.
Northwestern. Okay. What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Darius, was there more intensity defensively on Saturday night, or did it just kind of look that way because you guys played well?
I mean, obviously it was a lot before the game, knowing who you're playing. But really, we just did the same process that we've been doing. And then just on Saturday, the energy was just like you could feel it from like when we woke up to the meetings in the hotel. Like everybody's energy was just on a different level. So I really would say the process was the exact same during the week. But just on game day, the energy just went up. And everybody was just really excited to play, you could tell.
Coaches have told us that the pregame festivities didn't fire anybody up, but Isaiah said it might have given you guys a little extra on Saturday night.
Yeah. I mean, it was just one of those things where you could tell that they do that every game, but we were the only team that was not feeling that. And, you know, I didn't think it was nothing personal because at the end of the day, it's all about Mizzou, and it's all about our defense and our D-line. So they wanted to make it about them, but it's about us, and that's the only thing that matters is this D-line.
A guy like Anthony Richardson who can escape the pocket so frequently, what is kind of emphasized in the D-line room and, you know, to keep him contained in the pocket during pass rush?
Basically, like, the way you think about it is think about it as like a well. And you know a guy like that who has, like, tremendous speed and whatnot, you just don't want to let him get out the well. So it's really just keep him inside and just keep rushing. And just give good effort when you're rushing because, you know, you never know, you might catch him out the side or real quick. But as long as we keep him in the well and make him a passer, you know, I'm really excited for that opportunity. But, you know, we just got to rush at our angles and our levels and just have good energy.
How important is like tackling technique with a dude that big?
It's definitely a huge emphasis because you got to get them on the ground. That's the name of the game. And, like, small, like, little ankle tackles and stuff on running backs and stuff, it's just not the same with a bigger quarterback. But another thing we got to think about is just ball security, getting the ball out since he runs a lot. Try to get more takeaways on him if he wants to be a runner. But really just focusing on the drills and practice as far as the near hip, run your feet, and everybody run to the ball and just get them on the ground.
You were on the team with Bolton this year, and Tyrone Hopper, in a way, is kind of stepping into a role like that with just a playmaking linebacker. How would you kind of compare the two?
Well, that's a great question because obviously Bo was like the best, like probably the best one of the best players I've ever been around, and Hop is definitely like makes a lot of good plays for this defense and this team. But really, It's hard to compare the two of them because they're like different, like builds. Like Hops, I would think like a little bit more athletic, but Bolt is like really, really intellectual, like smart about how he plays, and but they're just both great players, and I'm glad that I was able to be teammates with both of them. But yeah, they both just really good players, bro. Honestly.
Darius, Coach Baker talked a little bit about execution at the end of that Georgia game and just playing 2 weekends in a row with close games coming down the stretch. What are some things that the defense learned about itself and that you guys have been trying to take away from, I think 7 total points have been the difference between the last two. So
Yeah.
what are some things you guys have learned that you're going to try and implement going forward?
Finish. Really, that's a huge thing. Just finish like every drill, every clip in practice, like everything. Just finish because that Saturday didn't finish, and it's very unfortunate because that's the difference between a win and a loss, especially in a big game like that. So just finishing, just having good energy, and realizing practice execution is game day reality. So we got to practice hard and just continue to build the process. Like honestly, like one of our strength coaches, Coach Russell, he told us a story about the stone cutter and how you just keep hitting the stone, you keep hitting the stone, you keep hitting the stone, and like he hit it 100 times, but on the 101st time it broke. But it wasn't that 101st hit; it was all the hits building up, and that's why I feel like our defense is really becoming like we keep just grinding and keep hitting and hitting, and eventually, like I think it's going to explode just because of how hard we're practicing and how well we're connected with one another.
Speaking of that build, obviously going from last year around this time to now with the new defensive coordinator and
Yeah.
everything, after the game, like Kirby Smart and Georgia was really complimentary of the pass rush and the penetration you guys were able to get. I mean, to
Yeah.
earn that respect in just a year's time, what does that mean to you, especially someone who's been
It definitely means a lot because my whole career playing Georgia, I don't think it was ever like a real competitive close game like Saturday. So they're the number one team in the nation, and to get that from them, it means a lot. But obviously, it doesn't mean as much as a win. That would have been everything. But we can take that compliment and just continue to get better because it's only week 5. Well, this is week 5, I think. I don't know. It's all the weeks get jumbled up, but just keep going. Like we got a lot of ball left. Like it's obviously unfortunate the loss, but we know what we're capable of. But we just have to do it on an everyday basis and just continue just to keep hitting the stone, keep hitting it. Honestly,
Darius, did you see Hopper and Charleston and Williams and the rest of the transfer guys in defense being this good and this helpful this quickly?
yeah, I definitely did because they wouldn't be here if they wasn't good. Honestly, just being honest, like. Obviously, like our coaches, we've had have a lot of transfers, so the expectation is for them to be really good players for us, and they've definitely developed a lot. And I'm just glad they're on my team. They obviously could have went anywhere, but I'm glad they're here at Mizzou and buying into the process and just being good teammates. And I'm glad they're here. But yeah, they're definitely playing really good ball right now, and I'm just glad they're here.
Anything else for D-Rob? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
We've got Tyrone Hopper at the podium if you've got questions for Tyrone.
Tyrone, is it easy or hard to say this is just another game this week?
Honestly, it's easy. It's just another game. We just trying to win SEC. Gonna be a big game. Gonna be a dogfight. So yeah.
Does it help you at all, being used to, I guess, playing at the Swamp a little bit, like you've been there before?
I guess so. I guess it'll help, but I know it's a real great environment to play in. So I'm ready to go down and play. Get to see a couple old teammates and stuff. So yeah.
I'm sure you probably have a pretty unique perspective on what it's like to defend Anthony. I mean, how much were you going up against him in practices, and what's it like trying to defend him?
He's a really good player, real athletic, fast. He got some wiggle to him. So we're gonna have to bring our A game, basically.
We talk a lot about the challenges of defending someone like Anthony Richardson, but it's also exciting. It's also for guys like you to go up and face someone as talented as that.
Yeah, it's always to go out and play somebody with as much talent as that, and just to show like what we can do versus somebody like that. Uh, I feel like it showed that, we play hard, fast, and physical.
Are guys leaning on you this week since you know like the tendencies of some of those Florida players?
Yeah, honestly, a little bit. So, yeah, I'm letting them know little things about certain players.
I guess what is it like to kind of prepare for this team? I mean, you not only just spent a year there, but you spent a handful of years there too.
Um, well, I wasn't with that staff or with that scheme or anything, so it's just honestly like preparing for another team, honestly.
Tyrone, in the fourth quarter, what do you think the difference was with the defense? You guys have played so well from the beginning. Did it
Hmm
just kind of wear you down with the run, or what do you think was different?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they came out with more fire than us, I guess, in the fourth. Yeah.
Did you guys come away from that game thinking you're really close to finishing one of these off, or that you still got a lot of steps to take?
We still got steps to take, but I honestly feel like we're close too. So yeah, a little bit of both.
Tyrone, how did you feel like Damian and Devin played their chat this week?
I feel like they played really good. They both made some big time plays, and they showed you that we got depth in the room. So yeah.
Is there a special thing motivating you this season? I've noticed that each game this season you've had over 5 tackles, and last year I think you had maybe 5 or 6 games like that. So is there something different motivating you, or is it just more of an opportunity here?
Nah, I feel like I'm being used real well here. I'm being coached very well, so it's just reflecting my play.
Is there something about Coach Baker's scheme that you feel suits you specifically?
I just love his whole scheme. Honestly, I feel like they're using me and other players right. They're putting us in great position to make plays.
How different are you a player now than when you started, going into Florida into now?
Uh, I say I'm a lot smarter. That's probably the biggest difference, and I done got faster, bigger, stronger. So yeah.
Anything else for Tyrone? Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
Just take your sunglasses off for me so
I got you.
Make eye contact. Good human. This is Kristian Williams. If you've got questions for Kristian.
Christian, Kirby Smart essentially said that his offensive line got whipped by the defensive front on Saturday. How much confidence do you guys take away from the kind of confidence like that and how you play?
I mean, just coming from them being a great team, I mean, we just appreciative of it because we often looked at as the underdogs, and day in and day out we work hard, emphasizing stopping the run, just causing destruction and havoc to the offense as a whole. So just to be able to be called that and getting some type of recognition is pretty special when the work just pays off.
Kristian, the second play of the game, you had the 4-yard tackle for loss. Just take us through that play and what that kind of mean to you. How fired up were you after that?
Okay. You know what? It was. I mean, it was a tone setter. We started off strong, most definitely, with that play. Just coming out with KAD, just stopping the pass, breaking up pass breakups, and then just with that, I don't know. It was kind of like it wasn't premeditated or anything like that. It was just focusing in on technique, fundamentals, and stuff like that. Just honing into it, and then just trusting in my abilities and going out there and actually doing it. So, just for something like that to happen, I mean, it's a game changer.
Did y'all have any extra motivation for kind of that little pre-game scuffle? I don't know if it was really a fight.
Hey, I mean, it's football at the end of the day, a very violent sport. When you got two aggressive teams going at it like that, I mean, stuff can be bound to happen. At the end of the day, it's all football. We all competing. We just pay respect to them at the end of the game like it never happened. So, I mean, just looking past that, it's fine. It's competition at the end of the day. Yeah.
Kind of to what he defense, does that kind of boost some of the confidence as well, knowing that everybody around the bench is kind of taking notice to you guys, or do you not pay attention to it?
You just don't pay attention to it. I mean, we just focus on, it's all about us at the end of the day. Everybody that's in this building, you know, just trying to hone in to everybody, make everybody better around us. And, you know, just being able to be accountable and be available for each other whenever we need each other. So we know that we all a team and everybody just got to buy in. So, you know, just participating in our 111. But the fact that we get acknowledgement like that, I mean, it just shows that we're just not just the underdogs too. So I mean, we coming for sure.
What have you kind of seen from the guys behind you, like Wilson and Nicholson, kind of stepped in for Chad last week?
Portrayed leadership skills, most definitely. Just controlling the defense, reading gaps, reading offensive fronts, and just reading the offense as a whole and making plays. And that just shows you that, like, you got to have dependable depth at the end of the day. So for them to just step up and, you know, give it their all, it just shows that you can trust one another.
Kristian, what have you seen from Anthony Richardson on tape, and kind of from a defensive lineman's perspective? What is playing quarterback like? Repeat that what these legs do in terms of like how important gap responsibility is, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Anthony Richardson is a very dynamic quarterback, dual threat. But at the end of the day, it's all about us too. I mean, like you said, just honing in on the gap integrity, and then being able to trust one another that this person beside me will control this gap, so the quarterback won't be able to flood out the pocket through this specific gap. Just things like that too. So I mean, if we just come out hard, finish all 4 quarters, I mean, I feel like, you know, everything else will take care of itself. So I mean, it all falls back on our preparation at the end of the day.
Anything else for Kristian? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I can put your sunglasses.
Appreciate y'all.